Welcome to our new series, the 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie.
So, I'm gonna switch gears to a totally different fucking movie than Companion. Next movie I saw was the 2024 movie Havoc. Now this stars Tom Hardy, which I am a humongous Tom Hardy fan. I've been a big Tom Hardy fan going all the way back to Bronson, and I've watched pretty much all of his movies. I love Tom Hardy. Um, and my wife certainly does too. So it's nice because I get to watch those movies with Tom Hardy. So I'll give you the synopsis, and it's Detective Walker finds himself entangled in a web of corruption and violence after a drug deal goes awry. That's never happened in a movie, by the way. So this is the first time.
No. Drug deals go just the way according to plan. Every time.
Every single time. That's all movies. Paddles through the criminal underworld to rescue a politician's estranged son. By the way, Forrest Whitaker is in this movie. That surprised me. Walker confronts systemic decay and personal demons in this gritty action thriller directed by Gareth Evans. Now, let me tell you, after reading the back of the DVD synopsis, that is not at all how I viewed this movie. Like, sure, like Tom Hardy was a shitty cop and he was involved in a shitty situation. Oh, by the way, Timothy Oliphant is in this too. And so, he's kind of like world weary and shitty. It almost looks like he's working as a cop in the same world as like The Crow, like where it just rains all the time and just looks like total shit. He's a terrible dad. He's like getting his daughter. Oh, by the way, Chad, this is a Christmas movie.
Christmas
It's a
movie?
Christmas movie. Yes, this is actually a Christmas movie. Well, I'll talk. There's a lot of Christmas in this movie: Christmas trees, Christmas songs, all sorts of stuff. But, anyways, he's buying his daughter like crappy toys at a bodega and wrapping them in a plastic bag to give her and put her under the Christmas tree because I don't know, he's estranged from his wife. Anyways, Tom Hardy just plays like a down on his luck detective cop guy, whatever. So Gareth Evans as a director, I've been a fan of because I've watched The Raid 1 and 2, which are just the most gritty martial arts fucking films that I've seen. Very visceral, very violent. Much different than your kind of like House of Flying Daggers kind of, martial arts movies where everything's very beautiful and people are flying on strings and shit like that. Like there's a place for that. But this Gareth Evans is a director for martial arts. His stuff is just brutal and violent as fuck. And I'll tell you, I thought the story in this movie fucking blew fucking chunks. I didn't think it was interesting at all. Like it was some sort of conspiracy, just like we've seen in every other fucking movie. There were triads involved. There was, cops that were dirty, blah, blah, blah. But I found that the action was where this movie really was shining, especially with the violence and just the raw and gritty sort of way that people died in this movie. And, and my favorite part about the violence in the movie is that, and you'll find this out when you see John Wick, you don't have to have guns that actually shoot bullets in movies anymore. To do so is irresponsible. I know I already mentioned The Crow. So to do so is like an outdated, ridiculously stupid notion because you can just CG shit. Like you can CG like muzzle fire, things like that, even blood and all that. You don't have to have real bullets on here. And this movie, all of the violence is done in CG. Now it's not like, I mean, for me, it doesn't take away from it. I'm okay with it. It doesn't take away from the acts of violence because violence is all about intent. But I think that that's such a nice forward way for the movies to keep going forward is to not have to put anybody's lives at risk because there's fucking bullets being loaded in actual fucking guns. Brandon Lee, R.I.P. Yeah. So, it did the violence very well. I liked it. It had a great sort of ending sequence. It had enough stars in here for me to find it enjoyable, regardless of a lack of story. It's a Netflix movie, so it was free for me. I know we make the joke that is it really free?
If you're
But it was a
paying for the
Netflix movie. It came out.
You didn't have to pay
Yeah,
extra.
and I
That's
was
how
like,
we're spending the same amount of
no,
money every month. You don't have to pay extra. It's free. That's how I look at it.
right, exactly. So I didn't think it was offensive in any way, and I enjoyed it. And it had a beginning, middle, end, and some of it I didn't agree with, but some of it really worked for me. And I thought it was a perfectly fine free movie overall. And so I guess we come to the question, right?
It's always the question
that we
It's
always
always the question that we tend to ask because it's the fun part.
Where
about this.
where do I rank this out of everything? Where do I rank this out of everything? I'll tell you what. I kind of know exactly where I'm going to rank this. And it didn't take long for me to figure it out.
I'm ready.
But I'll put it right below Beekeeper and above Twisters. That's exactly where it belongs. Because Beekeeper I enjoyed. I laughed throughout the entire motherfucking thing. Sure, there was violence. It wasn't extreme. But the Beekeeper entertained my ass throughout the entire fucking movie. And, with Havoc, it was like great to see Tom Hardy. I'm always interested to see what accent Tom Hardy is going to use in his movies because he has like 3 or 4 of these cycles. But that's where it kind of goes for me. I think of the 2 movies I watched this week, I felt that Companion was much more of a tighter story and it was done better. But that's where Havoc would go, just above Twisters. We'll see.
Twisters. Oh, glad see that.
Twisters.
Interesting. So you had a couple mid movies. I guess mid and kind of low end. One was mid.
Look at you.
Mid.
Look at you using the lingo of the cool kids.
Soda.
Yeah.
No. That's not cool anymore. All right. That's why we're using it. It's not cool anymore. Hate to tell you this. If we're using it, it's over.
Yeah.
You think you're like,
I've heard the new stuff. And the new stuff doesn't make sense.
I get the joke.
That shit's mid. They'll be like, no, you're Kevin.
Yeah.